and welcome to Certec's series on credit union superheroes. I'm here today with San Mateo Credit Union CEO Wade Painter. Say hello.
Hello, and thank you, Sarah.
How are things out there in California?
It's spring. The weather's great, and just such a bizarre time right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of that, what were your first thoughts when we were starting to understand how big the impact of coronavirus was going to be? What were your first thoughts for the San Mateo Credit Union community?
So what was what were our first thoughts in terms of what we were dealing with when it started becoming clear, back in late February, early March, what we were likely going to be in for with this pandemic? Well, it was really first, what could we do with our members, and what could we do to help out the community? And then that quickly morphed into, what are our capacity, both people-wise and financial-wise, to be able to help out members and help out the community. Basically that kind of launched us into the next phase, which was actually coming up with the various relief measures that we identified and later rolled out for our members and for the community.
So, in addition to kind of the loan deferrals and small dollar loans that a lot of credit unions are doing, and San Mateo Credit Union as well, to help members through the crisis, you also launched this great mortgage assistance initiative. So tell me about that one.
Certainly one of the most impactful things that we came up with to help our members, in particular our members that had first mortgages with us, was I think a very unique program in terms of the degree of relief that we're able to provide, and the efficiency that we're able that we're making it happen in terms of the offers to our members. So specifically with our first mortgages, these are portfolio first mortgages, not mortgages owned by one of the GSEs, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So with these portfolio first mortgages, basically we came up with we wanted to offer a 6-month forbearance program. That was really the first thing that we identified. I know that it seems from what I've heard and read, a lot of other credit unions and financial institutions in general, I think the standard is 3 months. So anyway, nevertheless we felt 6 months was a better solution for our members based on how we were looking at the pandemic and the lasting impact it's going to have for a while, I think. So starting with 6 months being the answer, then it became a matter of, well, how do we make this happen? How do we work with our members to make this available to them? And basically, we decided that the best way to do that was to leverage technology that we'd rolled out last year. I'll give a plug to a firm called CU Rate Reset. And we originally implemented their technology as a means of being able to make offers to real estate borrowers who have ARMs with us, make offers about 6 months before their ARM reset in order to give them probably a better deal in most cases. So we were able to work with the CU Rate Reset people to do some custom programming to allow us to use this product to send emails to all of our first mortgage borrowers that made the offer for a 6-month forbearance agreement, and the way they were able to opt in, members were able to opt into the agreement was basically just responding to the email in terms of clicking on a link and clicking through a small series of questions, and then finally getting to using DocuSign to sign the forbearance agreement. So basically it was click, 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 and they were done. And we have a forbearance agreement, and that automatically updated the next payment due date by 6 months on these loans. And that was it. So basically, we were able to create a seamless experience for our members and create an efficient process, which was really important in terms of our people and not overwhelming my real estate department. So it was really a double win that way.
Yeah, that's really excellent when you're able to make it easy for everybody all the way around. So what's been the member response to this program?
Well, so far we have 342 members that have opted into the 6-month forbearance plan. That represents about 20% of our real estate borrowers, so a very sizable percentage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's excellent. And so what you did essentially is identify a problem that you knew your members would have and work toward a solution. What's your process for problem solving for your members, for your employees? How do you approach it?
It's really a group effort, a collaborative effort. With my senior leadership team, since the beginning, and that's something that we do, regardless of the pandemic. But starting in early March, we started doing daily briefings with the entire senior leadership team, and this was was certainly on the agenda in these early meetings. How are we going to help members? And a lot of measures, relief measures, came out of these early senior leadership team meetings. But basically, the advantage of these senior leadership team meetings is we have all of the stakeholders around the table, or connected via WebEx or Zoom, and we're able to very quickly define our processes and what we're going to do to implement the various solutions that we come up with.
Yeah, and it's such an excellent program, but that's not the only big news you guys have going on at San Mateo Credit Union. You all have created a partnership with your local government and others to assist small businesses. Can you talk a little bit about that program?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned at the top, one of our big objectives was to be able to have a positive impact on the community throughout this challenging time. And the opportunity really presented itself when I was contacted by one of the county government leaders. And when I say county government, it's San Mateo County. And for those of you who may not be familiar with San Mateo County, we're the northern half of Silicon Valley. So we're between San Francisco and San Jose, and we have about 750,000 people that reside in this county. A lot of big technology firms are here. And like every other part of the country, we were definitely feeling the impacts of, particularly on small businesses and individuals, who aren't working, who aren't employed, and definitely a big need in the county in a lot of different forms to help people get through this. So anyway, the county basically contacted me to see if the credit union would be interested in and have the ability to work with the county on distributing small business assistance, financial assistance grants. And I wasn't really sure what it was going to require, but definitely knew that was something that we wanted to work with the county on and explore and do everything we could to make that happen. So the first thing we did is we formed a nonprofit entity that we called SMCU Community Fund, with the idea that this grant program would need to be funded, and funding would come from the county, from city governments, and individual donations, as well as some of the big tech firms here. And having a nonprofit with 501c3 status, would really help that process out. So literally in a period of 3.5 weeks, we were able to get that up and running, get our 501c3 status, so we can receive contributions. That was a big part of this. But So that was one front. So the other front was really setting up the process of the grant, being able to make grants to small businesses. It started with working with the county on eligibility criteria that the businesses would have to um, be able to satisfy, and then setting up a process and use technology to support that process to allow small businesses to submit applications and submit their financial data in order for us to be able to underwrite those applications. And we reached out to a local venture capital firm, and they were able to provide us with technology resources for a very, very rapid deployment of something that was literally not quite as complex, but sort of directionally in that way, like a loan origination system. So this grant application submission system also is a system that we're using to help us be able to underwrite the grants. Again, that was rolled out literally in 2 weeks. We went live with it on Monday and started receiving applications for the grants on Monday. Closed down the site after receiving over 2,000 applications. That was in 4 hours, and that gave us more than enough grants to be able to start working on the underwriting part. One of the kind of constraints on how many grants we're able to do is the amount of funding we have. So right now we have about $3 million, and while I expect more to come in, these grants are per the county's specs are $10,000 a piece. So that really get right at $3 million. That gives us the ability to fund 300 grants. So that's what we're working on right now. We're going to start making dispersing the grants early next week, and we're off and running, and we're definitely having a big impact on the businesses that are going to be getting these grants, and we definitely have a new expertise. Hopefully, this is the only time we'll have to use this expertise in grant underwriting. It's a very powerful relationship that we've developed with the county in collaborating on these grants.
Yeah, absolutely. This is all such excellent, credit union collaboration in action. It's what I love about this story that you've been sharing.
Yeah.
And you created this mortgage assistance fund, and you're working with the local government and other partners to support small businesses in your community. And it's all about collaboration with the members, with the community. But collaboration is really tricky sometimes. What do you recommend as like best practices, lessons learned in complex collaborations like this?
Well, just a lot of communication. That is where I'd start. We have daily calls with our with the county team that's really overseeing the county's part of this. And then of course we have a team that consists of my chief lending officer, one of our project managers, and me, representing us. And we also have our technology partners in this. So, like I said, daily calls there. I would also suggest or recommend anybody doing anything like this that they do include their project and program management people and resources that they have on site. That's been a superpower that we've really worked on developing over the last 3 years, and it's really paying off right now to have that capability and those resources that we're able to deploy on some of these efforts that we're undertaking right now. And be open to trying to find the best partners. And like I mentioned, we're using a venture capital firm to help us with the rapid deployment of technology. There's just no way we could have done that on our own, and our typical technology partners and vendors, just really weren't set up to be able to do that. So that's been a real advantage to us as well. And then, call out a couple of other existing partners we have. One is C. Myers. They have great expertise in business process improvement, among other things. So they've kind of been with us along the whole journey, and as we've really constructed these processes on the fly.
Well, thank you very much, Wade, for sharing your programs, sharing your knowledge and experience. Ceratec very much appreciates all credit unions, and especially yours, for being such a credit union superhero. And congratulations and thank you for being the first Ceratec credit union superhero.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Just glad to share the story, and maybe we'll get to circle back and tell you how it all ends. So
absolutely, we look forward to that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.